Here are 8 unbelievable historical coincidences that will blow your mind. History is filled with strange coincidences that baffle the mind and stir the imagination. Today, we uncover some of the most eerie and inexplicable historical coincidences that connect lives, events, and even deaths in ways that seem too extraordinary to be true. Number 1. Edgar Allan Poe's story come true. In 1838, Edgar Allan Poe published a novel titled The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. In this harrowing tale, a shipwrecked crew, desperate and starving, resorts to cannibalism. The unfortunate victim chosen by lot is named Richard Parker. Decades later, in 1884, a real-life tragedy mirrored Poe's fiction. The yacht Mignonette was shipwrecked, and the starving crew also resorted to cannibalism. Astonishingly, the victim was named Richard Parker. The chilling coincidence between fiction and reality leaves us wondering if Poe had somehow glimpsed the future. Number 2. A Titanic Coincidence. In 1898, Morgan Robertson penned a novel called Futility. It told the story of an unsinkable ship named the Titan, which tragically sinks after striking an iceberg. 14 years later, in 1912, the RMS Titanic, eerily similar to Robertson's fictional ship, met the same fate. Both ships were described as the largest of their kind, carried too few lifeboats, and struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic. The uncanny parallels between Robertson's tale and the Titanic disaster remain one of history's most striking coincidences. Number 3. Father and sons tied destinies. The Hoover Dam, a monumental feat of engineering, also holds a somber coincidence. The first person to die during its construction was John Gregory Tierney, who drowned while surveying the site on December 20, 1922. 13 years later, in 1935, the last person to die during the dam's construction was Patrick William Tierney, John Gregory Tierney's son. He perished on the very same date as his father, December 20th. This tragic alignment of father and son's fates adds a poignant chapter to the dam's history. Number 4. Twin fates. Jim Lewis and Jim Springer, 2 American twins separated at birth, lived parallel lives despite being raised apart. Reunited at age 39, they discovered uncanny similarities. Both had married women named Linda, divorced and remarried women named Betty. They named their first sons James Allen and had similar pets and cars. Their identical choices and experiences, despite being raised separately, highlight a fascinating and mysterious connection between twins. Number 5. Mark Twain and the Comet. Mark Twain, one of America's greatest writers, was born in 1835, the year Halley's Comet appeared. Twain himself predicted that he would go out with it, and true to his word, he died in 1910, the day after the comet's reappearance. This celestial coincidence between Twain's life and Halley's Comet adds a mystical element to the legacy of a literary giant. Number 6. Jefferson and Adams' deaths. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, 2 founding fathers and former presidents of the United States, shared an extraordinary connection. Both died on July 4, 1826, exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed. Their simultaneous passing on such a significant date underscores their lasting impact on American history and their deep, intertwined legacies. Number 7. The Archduke's license plate. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914 triggered World War I. The car in which he was assassinated bore the license plate A3 in Roman numerals and 118. The armistice that ended the war was signed on November 11, 1918, which in 6 digits format can be written as 11-11-18. This numerical coincidence between the car's license plate and the war's end date adds an intriguing layer to a pivotal historical event. Number 8. History repeats itself. In 1974, Neville Eben was tragically struck and killed by a taxi in Bermuda. Almost exactly 1 year later, his brother Erskine Lawrence was killed in the same manner by the same taxi, driven by the same driver and carrying the same passenger. The repetition of this tragic event, down to the exact details, remains a perplexing and eerie coincidence. These historical coincidences remind us that sometimes, truth is stranger than fiction. They connect us to the past in mysterious ways, making us ponder the hidden threads that weave through history. Which coincidence did you find the most astonishing? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining us in exploring these remarkable coincidences. And please don't forget to like and subscribe with all notifications on, so that you won't miss any of our future videos. Until next time.